Somewhere right now, someone is sitting at a desk they hate, in a job that drains them, and they're telling themselves, I just haven't found my Ikigai yet. But here's what nobody tells you. The Ikigai you've been chasing doesn't exist. Not in Japan, anyway. The whole thing was made up by a British blogger in 2014, and it's been quietly making millions of people miserable ever since. You've probably seen the diagram. 4 circles, overlapping perfectly. What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Find the place where all 4 meet, and that's your Ikigai. That's your purpose, your reason to exist. It sounds beautiful, so you spend your 20s searching, then your 30s second-guessing, then you wake up at 40, still waiting for those 4 circles to align, and when they don't, you assume something is wrong with you, that you're broken, that you missed it somehow. But the truth? You were never looking for Ikigai. You were looking for a diagram someone invented on a blog. Let's go to where Ikigai actually comes from. Ogimi Village, Okinawa, Japan. A small, quiet place on a tiny island where people routinely live past 100. Researchers went there to find the secret. They interviewed over 100 elderly residents, and they asked, each one, what is your Ikigai? The answers were not what they expected. One woman said, her morning tea. An old farmer said, his garden. A retired fisherman pointed to his group of friends who met every Tuesday to play cards. Nobody mentioned career alignment. Nobody talked about finding their calling. Nobody drew 4 overlapping circles. One 100 to 2-year-old woman held up a great-grandchild she was cradling and simply said, this. In Japan, Ikigai, written as Shunki-jiafei, literally means that which makes life worth living. And in Okinawa, life is worth living because of small things. A warm bowl of food, a familiar face, a garden that needs tending. That's it. There's no word for retirement in the Okinawan language, not because they never stop working, but because they never think of life as something to be earned and then finally lived. They are already living it, every single day. So where did the 4-circle diagram come from? In 2011, a Spanish astrologer named Andres Zuzunaga drew a Venn diagram about purpose. It had nothing to do with Japan, nothing to do with Ikigai. 3 years later, in 2014, a British blogger named Marc Winn read about Ikigai in a separate book. He liked it, so he took Zuzunaga's diagram, changed one word in the center, and wrote a blog post. He put the word Ikigai in the middle of 4 overlapping circles and posted it online. That's it. That's the entire origin story of the philosophy you've been building your life around. Marc Winn himself later admitted, and I'm quoting him directly here, I changed one word on a diagram and shared a new meme with the world. A meme, not ancient Japanese wisdom, not centuries of Okinawan philosophy. A meme. Now here's where it gets fascinating. Psychologists Paul O'Keefe, Carol Dweck, and Gregory Walton at Stanford and Yale ran a series of 5 studies on exactly this question. What happens when people believe their passion is something to be found? The results were striking. People who believed passion was fixed, that it was out there waiting to be discovered, were more likely to give up the moment things got hard. Because when you believe passion is found, not built, difficulty feels like a sign you found the wrong thing. And so you quit, and search again, and quit, and search again. O'Keefe called this the fixed theory of interests, and it doesn't just make you give up faster, it makes you narrower. The study found these people were less curious, less willing to explore unfamiliar subjects, less open to the surprising discovery that something they never expected might actually light them up. Separate research on what psychologists call obsessive passion found something even more disturbing. People obsessively searching for their purpose showed higher rates of anxiety, shame, and depression, not because they couldn't find it, but because they were looking for it. The looking itself was the trap. So what do you do instead? You do what the 102-year-old woman in Okinawa did. You stop searching, and you start noticing. What small thing made today worth waking up for? Not your calling, not your destiny, not your perfectly aligned 4-circle diagram, just today. What was worth it today? The Stanford researchers found that people who developed their interests through doing, through showing up, trying, failing, trying again, discovered a passion that was both deeper and more durable than anything they could have found. The Okinawans didn't find their Ikigai. They grew it, the way you grow a garden, not by staring at the soil and willing a flower to appear, but by showing up every morning, tending to it, trusting the process. Your Ikigai is not waiting for you somewhere out there. It is built, slowly, in the doing. The seed line, 9:30 to 10. A 102-year-old woman holding a child she loves or wasn't searching for purpose that morning. She woke up, and purpose was already there. Stop chasing the diagram. Start living the day. That is your Ikigai, and that is your seed. If this story planted something in you, subscribe to Story Seeds. Every week, one story, one lesson, one seed. We'll see you next time.